What's the smallest, most annoying thing your partner does? He never closes any chips, cereal, cookie packages after using them. I'm starting to think he likes stale food more than fresh. My wife will literally not close anything. Doors, drawers, wet wipe packs, bread bag, lids on anything, as well as the things you mentioned and plenty more. How can I lovingly tell her that she is a demon plague on freshness / usability? I don't like stale food, dry wet wipes don't work, and spilt milk is worth crying over. My husband loves to sing. The issue here is that he is tone deaf, and when he sings it sounds like a seagull is being strangled to death. He only does it when he's happy, so I try to not grimace, but man, he is truly terrible at singing. He also never knows the words to songs, so he'll just belt out some random note instead of a word he doesn't know. He's a total goof, and I love him. The man does not sit down. He eats standing up. He watches TV standing up. When he's working at his computer, he gets up every few minutes to pace. It's not a big deal for the most part, but it makes me anxious. He leaves dishes to soak for so long, and when I finally wash them, he acts like he wanted to do it. Annoys the it out of me. I worked in food service and my boss did an experiment on this because his girlfriend did the same thing, soaking dishes for days, so it's easier to clean. He had 3 pans with the exact same mess on them, and he washed one right away, control pan, soaked one for 5 minutes, and left one soaking overnight. He found that the one soaked for 5 minutes was just as easy to clean as the one that soaked overnight. He has giant lizard feet. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. His feet are entirely made up of dry lizard skin. And when we watch TV at night he always whips his socks off. Then he sits in his recliner and drags those devilish pods back and forth over one another. Yes, there he crouches, perched menacingly on his branch chair. I mean, he sits in his chair, moving his scaly lizard feet back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, creating a giant pile of dry skin in the floor. And that sound. Dear God, the sound. It's like a dry tree branch on a cheese grater. Shudder. But I'm fine. Everything is fine. Me, are you hungry? I was gonna make random dinner food for dinner. Husband, that sounds good, but I'm not really hungry right now. Can we eat a bit later? Me, yay, for sure. When would you like to eat? Husband, how about half an hour? My husband seems to think that dinner just appears in a flash. Years ago, an acquaintance of his told him he was a good dancer. Now he thinks he's goddamned Fred Astaire. He dances like a suburban white dad after one too many on Christmas Day. He dances at every available opportunity. Sometimes I wish I could track down that acquaintance and ask him if he's happy with what he's created. He does everything almost violently, sitting on the couch and wants a bottle of water, jumps up and practically runs to the fridge, swings it open, then slams it shut. Hasn't been talking, but suddenly has something to say. He talks loudly and quickly. Sometimes it's subtly hilarious. Other times, like when I just got home from work and I'm tired, it drives me up the wall. I think it's just because he's a very high energy person, and when he decides to do something, he gets it done 10 seconds ago. Edit. Also, the way he puts away dishes. I have to silently tell myself, I love him, at least he tries. I love him, at least he tries. I repeat it over and over while putting things where they actually go. Don't get me wrong. I very much appreciate coming home to a clean kitchen. But oh boy, the mixing bowls do not go with the pots and pans. He scratches his balls while he's sleeping. I mean, I love him, and I love his balls, but I do not need the soundtrack of my nighttime loving embrace to be the noise of nails against ballsack. Sometimes, my husband will be standing and telling me a story and I literally haven't been able to concentrate on it because he's been violently yanking at his balls since he opened his mouth. I have to stop, and I unintentionally end up basically shouting, "Are you okay? What is going on?" He always snaps, "They itch." He eats waffles by cutting it by the lines into 4 giant pieces. He then proceeds to stuff the giant piece in his mouth as a whole bite. He claims that's what the lines are for, but it just makes me feel slightly embarrassed that he can't cut the waffle into smaller bites. I love him, but this is the one thing that always gets under my skin. My husband leaves his cereal bowl with milk in it in the sink or next to the sink. When confronted about why he doesn't at least dump the milk out and rinse the bowl, he gets a blank look on his face, like he had an out-of-body experience and had no recollection of doing it. The most rage-inducing part is that he honestly doesn't do it on purpose and is generally a tidy guy, so I can't even be mad. Laundry takes him 4 to 6 hours every weekend. He monopolizes the washer/dryer from Saturday around 8 AM to Sunday evening. It's a huge event that starts on Saturday, where he does tons of small loads, each with different products, like blowing liquid for his white undershirts that no one even sees. Sundays he then steams everything, not just his dress clothes, but also undershirts, casual t-shirts, and jeans. I have even seen him mucking lint roll and steam socks. This requires a big standing steamer, a laundromat style rolling cart with hangers, multiple laundry baskets, and a rolling hamper with different bins for white/dark/colors/delicates. He takes up the whole living room with laundry, draped on every piece of furniture while blasting Netflix. It takes so long Netflix will be like, "Are you still there?" He is my soulmate, and I adore him though. He values precision, and has a PhD in engineering, so he never does anything halfway. I wish I didn't have to experience the laundry apocalypse every weekend, but I've learned to turn it into girl time and just stay away from the operation, because it is frustrating to watch. My husband starts a conversation in his head, but only speaks the last half out loud to me, and I have no clue what he's on about. I get annoyed as he won't explain, but act like I'm the confused one, until I point it out he's done it again. This legitimately happened to me 3 minutes ago. BF. So what should our limit be then? Me. What? BF. For Christmas presents. Me. You're aware you just started that thought mid-sentence? BF. No idea, and he does it all the time. Also leaving the door open when he poops, and having a conversation with me. This conversation happened as he was pooping. Ugh. I used to get all essed off when both my ex and my current husband would leave kitchen cabinet doors open. One day we were chatting about each other's pet peeves, and I told him that the cabinet door thing really irked me. He started laughing, because I was the one that kept doing it without ever realizing, until he pointed it out. Lol. Loses everything. Literally everything. Drives me mad. Wallet? In his other pants. Keys? Left them in the ignition, so I have to get up at 6 AM to help him find them. Shoes? Who even knows anymore? Probably under the couch though he just had them an hour ago. Glasses? Space. Or he left them on the bathroom counter while he showered and forgot to grab them. A couple times they were under the bed or tangled in the blankets. I don't want to talk about his phone. I love the man, but come on. He refuses to acknowledge his naturally superior strength when we play fight or wrestle and never takes it easy on me. I just want him to let me win sometimes. It also low-key scares me because it always reminds me how easily he could kill me with his bare hands if he wanted to. My SO cooks some really amazing dishes, and he loves to cook, but he commits a lot of cross-contamination. I'm a huge germaphobe and I've worked in kitchens, so when I cook, I know I could pass a health inspection anytime. He's not bad enough that we've ever gotten sick, but if either of us had weakened immune systems it probably wouldn't be great lol. He doesn't really wash fresh veggies. He doesn't wash everything that touches raw meat. He'll use a fork to scoop out sour cream, then put that same fork in the salsa container, getting sour cream all mixed in with the salsa. I know I probably sound super anal, and I definitely am, but it bugs me a lot. I have to just stay out of the kitchen when he's cooking because I can't handle it. Doesn't pick up or open his mail. I'm constantly worried that something important will be sent and he'll miss it. I tend to open anything that looks more important for him. The rest I'll leave for him on his desk, but it can be days before he gets around to reading it. He's the same way with like messages and notifications. He'll leave it for days before checking a message he gets, or worse, he'll forget. He does tend to respond to me promptly, luckily, otherwise it'd be super annoying. I just don't get it. I'm the sort of person that has to do it right away, otherwise I know I'll forget. He leaves his already worn, but still wearable clothes on a pile on top of his dresser because he doesn't want them to mix with his clean clothes in his dresser. I even bought him a specific smaller set of drawers to fit them in, but he still forgets to use it. I can't stand clothes lying around.